Let's bring in right now from Capitol Hill, Republican representative from Oklahoma, Congressman Tom Cole. Tom, it's always great talking to you. I loved hearing what the president had to say yesterday. He said if Republicans have ideas to amend the Affordable Care Act, he's wide open to it, and I'm sure you guys are really excited to hear that too. That's a change.
Well, you know,
yeah.
People forget we've already given him ideas, and 7 of them have become law. You know, people talk a lot about the 41 times to vote to delay and repeal, but 7 of those actually got through the Senate, and the president signed. They've saved about $62 billion. So we've been putting ideas on the table. Frankly, the president hasn't put very many ideas on the table. This is his legislation. It's not worked well. I would expect the correctives to come largely from him, although, again, we're happy to help where we can.
Can you guys help? I mean, we're hearing, certainly I heard it at the Republican Governors Association. I'm hearing it from, people like Bill Kristol, some of the, big thinkers in the Republican Party, that we can't just be the party of no. Obviously, we need to have an alternative to the president's plan. Do we see Paul Ryan and others coming together with a comprehensive health care plan, a response?
Absolutely. There's actually a couple of good ones out there. Tom Price, who's a physician from Georgia's got one. Republican Study Committee has one that I'm very proud to be one of the co-sponsors of. It's a comprehensive plan. We put one on the table. People seem to forget this when Obamacare was passed. So there's over 200 pieces of Republican-sponsored health care legislation out there. So there's lots of ideas. And again, we're willing to sit down and work with the president. But the reality is this thing just simply hasn't worked. Millions of people are losing their insurance. Rates are going up. People are not satisfied with the product. And again, I think this is the president's responsibility. It's his signature legislation. So, you can't sort of blame the failure on us when we've been against what's failing from the very outset.
Well, I should remind everyone, we did try to negotiate with the Republicans through 2009, 2010, there was not an alternative. The Republicans never had a comprehensive alternative that had to fulfill 3 requirements: get everyone covered, improve the quality of care, make it consistently high, and control health care costs. There was never a proposal. The best we got was a 50-page document that really didn't have ideas. As a matter of fact, I had to my class at the University of Pennsylvania, a Republican from the American Enterprise Institute come and talk to my students. You didn't have a proposal. You had a few ideas, more market competition. That's not a proposal.
Let the congressman respond.
Well, actually, it is a proposal. It's just simply not the proposal that you wanted. And look, we put a lot more faith in individual choice and markets than you do. I mean, you want a government-controlled system. You want to micromanage it. Our basic philosophy is that doesn't work very well. Government's not good at doing that. And I think, honestly, this has been a colossal failure, and our critique has largely been borne out. I think actually we've been more spectacularly right than we thought.
The exchange is a free market idea. You have insurance companies compete in a series of ways that make sense.
People ought to run it because you're not running it very well. I mean, it's been hold
on one second. Hey, Tom, hold on. Let's go one at a time here. Go ahead and finish up, Zeke.
Well, I actually think the exchange is a free market idea. It's an idea that allows people to see the price of insurance, to decide which one is for them. And we've seen that in places like California. That's actually driven down the price of insurance a lot.
Well, actually, the price of insurance hasn't come down anywhere. The reality is, under this system, you're going to have millions of winners. I'd be the first to acknowledge that, but you're going to have tens of millions of losers as well. And you're getting government into a marketplace that it doesn't understand, that it doesn't manage well. That's why more people have lost insurance so far than have gotten insurance under this system. I have no problem with exchanges and people comparing prices, but honestly, let's be real. The United States government isn't Amazon. They don't do this very well, and there's no reason to believe it's going to get better as we move forward.
John Meacham?
Congressman, you were the only member of your delegation who voted to reopen the government. I'm just wondering what you hear from the people in your district, why you were comfortable doing that when a lot of your colleagues, because of the base of their constituents and their party, were not so comfortable.
Well, frankly, I have overwhelming support, to be quite honest with you. And I'm from a district and a state where the president didn't carry a single county. But the reality is people know shutting down the government is, number one, never going to work. There's important services. You put people out of work. It's a bad idea. And number two, it's bad politics. It's just simply silly. We've tried this a number of times. I don't know why we need every 17 years. I guess Republicans are like they need to try it one more time. but it doesn't work.
Well,
And
especially, Tom, when 17 years ago, cicadas like myself got crushed. I mean, you would think, okay, wait, don't
but
fly
I like listen
under
to
the
you,
boot,
Joe.
You know? I mean, it's unbelievable. Well, that's great to hear. You come from a conservative district. You voted to reopen the government. You've heard mainly positive, a lot of positive things. Have you been attacked by bloggers and other people in sort of the conservative echo chamber?
Yeah, you certainly get that, but actually they're not from my voters. They're not from the people that I represent. And look, I actually have very seldom had such a positive response. It was most of the voters that I talked to, or when you're going to the airport, talk to your local chamber that said, thank goodness somebody actually voted to do this. We're very much against Obamacare. We're very much opposed to a lot of the president's policies, but we don't think this is an appropriate tactic. And so we don't disagree theologically inside the Republican Party. We're all pretty united on these kinds of issues. But this was just a tactic that was never going to work. And frankly, the minute we got off of it, we started to heal, and people focused back on the president and what wasn't working. That's much better politics right now than trying to throw a temper tantrum and shut down the government.
That makes sense. Congressman Tom Cole, always good to see you.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.